Hi everyone, this is Federica from Doc City, and I'd like to welcome you all to this webinar. Today we will be talking about STEM graduate studies in Russia, earn your masters at Skoltech. And today with us we have Denis Stolerov, who is the head of student department at Skoltech. And just before starting with the webinar and leaving the floor to Denis, I'd like to remind you that you could write your question into the Q&A section, and we will be answering in the second part of the presentation. Thank you so much, and I just leave the floor to Denis. Have a great webinar, everyone.
Thank you, Federica, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to our small event about STEM studies in Russia. And today, all the world is facing all these troubles with the COVID-related situation, and all our events that we usually do on site also went into the online format. These webinars as well. Previously, we've been conducting open doors in our beautiful campus, but we've adapted, and this is really good because we can reach out to you directly because you're in another country, and it's not a problem today. It is really nice. So today I'm going to be speaking about STEM studies in Russia and Skoltech in particular. And let's cut to the chase. How to choose a university and why it is important to understand the process of decision-making with this perspective, just in order to properly choose a STEM program for you in order to achieve the goal which you set in order to when pursuing your career path. So first of all, before choosing a university, you need to identify the goal. What is the reason why you need to go for master studies, and this goal should somehow be in correlation with the career that in future you want to pursue. And before applying or choosing university, you should sit and think about your motivation and what you actually need in order to get the particular skill set that will help you to be productive. And when you will identify the goal, it makes a lot of easier to choose a proper university, because first of all, you have to take a look at the list of courses which this university is offering, because when you see the list of courses, you will understand the frame of the hard skill set that you will get and how this knowledge is actually helping you or not helping to achieve the goal that you've set. And small tip for you, good universities always publish their course catalog, and you always can take a look at the description of the course, because it is really important to understand what would be the particular subjects you will be learning during your studies period. Next thing to pay attention to is faculty members, professors, because when you will understand the list of courses, you have to understand who will be teaching these courses, what are the age indexes, and do they perform research, or do they just read one course for 20 years in a row? So you need some additional information about professors, and if university is not publishing the list of professors on its website, it is a bad sign. So take a look at the list of faculty members, take a look at their personal pages, where they publish, what are their research areas, and it will be really important while making your decision in order to understand who will be those persons who will teach you. And the last but not least is the opportunities, the additional opportunities that university provides to its students, and how they can use these opportunities in order to, again, achieve the goal that is set for the study period. And now we're coming to Russia, because I would assume that the majority of you guys don't even consider Russia as a place to study for your postgrad education, for graduate programs like master's or PhD. But today I'm not will be selling Russia to you, because we understand that we have a lot of stereotypes with this regards. But just watch videos from World Cup. We've recently hosted a couple of years ago, we've hosted a World Cup. And just write in YouTube World Cup Moscow and see with your eyes how is the atmosphere here, how everything is super cool, super fine, and Moscow is one of the most flourishing European capitals, and well, it's pretty okay. Don't worry about Russia. Let's better speak about a particular place where you could get your STEM education and get it well with the highest possible international standards. I'm talking about Skoltech, and Skoltech is several facts to know about Skoltech. So first of all is that Skoltech is a young university. In the world, as you know, young university is considered as those who are below 50 years. With this perspective, we are a very young university because this year we'll be turning 9. So despite this fact, in 2019, we've been awarded with the title of top 100 best young universities around the world, according to the Nature Index. As you know, Nature is Nature Index is a collaboration of journals, which is really important to many faculty members who has been doing research in the STEM fields. And we are the only university in Russia who's been included in this list. And actually, this sign is just confirming that we have a really great research opportunities, and I will be talking about this a bit later. Next fact to understand about Skoltech is that English is our official language of instruction. 100% of our educational programs are conducted in English, and moreover, our official language of business communication is English as well. It means that if I'm again writing some letter to finance department, I do this in English because we have students, employees, and faculty members who don't speak Russian at all. And this is actually the good news for you because you don't need to know Russian to come and study at Skoltech. And as I previously mentioned, Moscow is a huge European capital, and you will not experience any problems with not knowing Russian, but knowing English, and well, the everyday life would be easy and smooth. Don't worry about this. And of course, well, English is really important in terms of getting the degree because you may know English pretty well, but understand, have an ability to travel around the world and not experience any problems is one thing, but another thing is to be able to do your job, your professional duties in English. And if you receive a degree from English-speaking program, it will not be a problem for you. So our graduates are specialists who are ready to work in particular any place in the world, in any international company. Next important thing about Skoltech is that we've managed to combine science, innovation, and entrepreneurship at one place. And it has its reflection in our educational programs, in its structure. And I will say a few words about this as well a bit later. And the last, but definitely not least, and probably the most important thing from my point of view at least, is our faculty members. We've managed to get a team of world-recognized researchers on campus, and our faculty members, they are not only research advisors to our students, but also act like mentors, helping them to shape their career path the most efficient and successful way possible. Okay, speaking about our education, we are a graduate school. So we don't do undergrad programs, we only have Master of Science and PhD programs. And speaking about the fields, so for example, here on the slide, you can see the list of our Master of Science programs. You may notice that it's 100% STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So we don't do economics, we don't do arts, we don't do any other fields, only STEM, only hardcore. And with the diversity of the programs from advanced manufacturing technologies to materials science, we have really great opportunities for students. We provide really great opportunities for students to do multidisciplinary things. Because, for example, nowadays, data science is the field which is has its own reflection, in particular any area of knowledge. And well, our students, they do a lot of really great multidisciplinary projects by using opportunities of collaboration with laboratories in the centers in different fields. Okay, speaking about the structure of the program, we use European Credit Transfer System, ECTS, which should be pretty common to you. And the structure of the program itself allows our students to shape their educational path the way they really feel it. For it just to be efficient. So how it works, we have 36 credits for compulsory and recommended courses. So it's the core of each program, the minimum that you have to obtain in order to get the degree. All other modules could be adjusted according to the goal that you set for yourself. So how it works, we have 24 credits for elective, and Skoltech right now has 250 courses in its course catalog, and you within this module can choose courses, particularly any courses from this course catalog. So being a student of data science, you can pick some courses from life sciences if you want to dig a bit deeper into bioinformatics, for example, or in photonics if you want to see how the quantum computing is done. So it is all possible, and again, this allows you to just shape your multidisciplinary research really beautifully combined. Also, we have 12 credits for entrepreneurship and innovation. And within this module, we actually teach our students how to make startups, how to make companies based on technology. Our key idea is that if you manage to develop a technology, it's literally not a rocket science to put it on the the base of your future successful startup. For example, we have a course which is called Innovation Workshop, and this course is taken by all Master of Science students, despite the program. And within 1 month, our students have to make a multidisciplinary team, produce some idea, and in 1 month make some MVP out of this idea, minimum viable product, which they afterwards present to venture experts, to our professors, and well, a lot of great experts from all over the world. The key idea here is to show that quick success is possible, and interesting thing here is that many students continue to work on their projects when they realize that, well, it's working. And as of now, Skoltech has around 80 startups in its portfolio launched by students and professors, and around 20 of them were created after Innovation Workshop. So people who never did any business before, after this course, they start, well, do successful business projects. And also within this module, we teach our students how to deal with intellectual property, especially nowadays, it's really important. And in general, we provide an opportunity and tools to start the company. Also, we have 12 credits for industrial immersion. And well, normally our students between first and second year of studies, they don't have summer vacation, because for 2 months they're obliged to go to a company and apply their knowledge into solving real world problems. Normally it's R&D divisions of huge companies, and it is a great opportunity for students to present themselves to a company and to take a look at the company, and even take the topic that they've been working on during industrial immersion as a base for their future master thesis, and well, spend second year of their master studies doing this project in the company, and well, writing their master thesis based on it. So it's really great opportunity for those who want to choose their industry career in the future. And we have a lot of great companies in our portfolio of partners. And 36 credits goes also for research and master thesis project. And again, your master thesis project may be more theoretically oriented or more practically oriented or more entrepreneurial oriented, depending on the way you feel it and the way that is, well, correlates with the goal that you've set to yourself when applying to Skoltech. On the screen, you can see right now the map, the world map with a lot of dots on it. And it is our partners marked. We have a lot of joint research and a lot of joint publications with a lot of good places all over the world. And one of the logos you may notice here is a logo of MIT. You probably heard about MIT, which is the best university in the world, according to many rankings, many years in a row. And MIT initially helped us to launch the Skoltech, to launch our project. And Skoltech was founded in collaboration with MIT. That is why, by the way, we consider our educational programs a state-of-art thing. And we have a lot of tight collaborations with MIT right now, around 20 joint research projects, a lot of exchanges, but in general, academic world is much bigger than MIT. And our students, they do have an opportunity to travel all over the world to see how the research is done in the best places out there. So, of course, right now we have these restrictions due to a pandemic situation in the world, but it will fade sooner or later, and our students will continue to participate in academic mobility programs. And our program is really consistent, and we formally don't need any MOU signed with universities to send there our students. So how it works? On the second year of studies, you may come to your research advisor and ask to go to, for example, let's say Tokyo University, because, and here should be really good reason, some way correlating to your activity, research activity. So you may say that you want to go to Tokyo University because only there you may find equipment in the lab, which is pretty unique, and you want to work on this equipment to finalize your thesis project. Or only there you can find a professor who has been publishing recently very actively on the topic that you're working on, and you want to work with him for several months. Well, if you have any reasonable, well, if your decision and request is reasonable, we approve it and send you there, covering all the costs related to the trip. Of course, it's not, it doesn't come by default. So it's some program that you should put your application for. But according to our stats, around 60% of our students on their second year of studies, they do travel all over the world. And well, in general, we believe that science could not be done within the borders. It's borderless, and you have to go to the best places out there to take a look how research is done there. So a lot of our students, they use this opportunity to enhance their research. Okay, speaking about the career tracks of our graduates, first of all, as I've already mentioned, we have the industry track. It's for those who want to build their professional career in the future, and after getting master's degree, go to a company and well start building a career there. And as I said, we have industry immersion already embedded into our educational program, and our students, they're obliged to go to a company and apply their knowledge for the real world problems. But also Skoltech, as a part of huge Skolkovo ecosystem. Skolkovo is the huge innovation center in Russia, the best one, the first one, the best one. And since Skoltech has a lot of unique lab equipment, many companies come to us and ask to produce some research for their money. It is called industrial grants. So we receive a lot of industrial grants, and within these grants, students also have an opportunity to participate and, well, to enhance their CV, resume, and definitely put some done projects into their list. And this is really, again, useful for those who, well, for example, for those who know the exact company they want to go to work for. And there is a high chances we have collaboration with them, especially if we are talking about such huge areas like space, engineering, etc. Next track is about science, and it's for those who want to do a career in academia. So after masters, go for a PhD at Skoltech or at somewhere else, and then probably travel postdoc somewhere, and hopefully return to Skoltech as a young faculty. And this track is also getting really popular these days because there are several factors which leads to this, but the main one is that today there is money in science. So huge companies investing money into research, into R&D, and this gap between articles which are publishing in scientific journals today and some technology which is bought or invested by a company tomorrow, this gap is really small. And many students choose this path because they see themselves pretty clearly. Because, well, for example, I hold an engineering degree myself, from the computer science department, and I'm a programmer. But when I've been finishing my education some 10 years ago, if someone would ask me about my future career in science, I would say hell no, because back then it was something which is, well, was not so appealing. But today's situation has changed, and that is why more and more students choose this track. And also one of the factors why it is happening is that 100% of our faculty members, of our professors, they are active researchers. They have huge H indexes, they actively publish. You just should go and check out their web pages. And they, of course, when some beautiful research is done in your lab, it's really hard to stand aside. And well, many students on their masters, they see the research which is done in the lab by faculty members, by students, and of course they want to join. And many, even those who've been thinking about career in a company, when they come to Skoltech, they understand, well, that science is their future. And of course, after masters, they go for a PhD, etc. So this is pretty popular track. Well, also, we have a huge investments from different scientific foundations, and our faculty members, they have double affiliations with many good universities all over the world. So that is why it is a great opportunity for our students to, well, do a great academic career. And the last but not least is startup track. So it's for those who want to start a company, or if you don't think that you will ever start a company, probably you'll change your mind after several years of studying at Skoltech. Because, as I said, we have special courses designed for this task, and also we have tools like seed money, investments, and many others in order to just provide our students with an opportunity to launch their company. Also, since we're, as I said, we're a part of this Skolkovo ecosystem, Skolkovo Foundation is one of the hugest funds in Russia which invests money into small companies, into startups. And our students, since we are already a part of this ecosystem, they definitely have some additional bonuses and training in order to get admitted for this funding of Skolkovo Foundation. And many of them use this opportunity for sure. Okay, now I will briefly outline our selection process, because just for you to understand how it works with in normal process, and today given this whole pandemic COVID-related situation. So first of all, you should submit your application online. You should go to a website. It's pretty easy to remember. Apply the Skoltech.ru and submit your application. The key thing to remember here is that you shouldn't wait till the final deadline. And try to submit your application as soon as possible, because we have a pretty fixed admission plan, and we have several waves. And the sooner you participate in the wave, the better you will understand, well, the more chances you have to get admitted, because the competition is a bit lower in the beginning. But the final deadline is July 16, so please, if you're planning to start this year, please don't forget to submit your application till July 16, inclusively. In the application system, where you have to submit your documents, there are several documents that you have to upload: your CV, your resume, if you have any achievements in competitions, diplomas, etc., also could be uploaded there. But there are two main documents which you should pay additional attention. First document is your motivation letter. And we really pay attention to this document because, as I said in the beginning of my presentation, the goal which you're set for yourself is really important for us to understand your attitude and your commitment, and how we may be useful to you and how you may be useful for Skoltech. So this is really important to sit and think about your goal and write it into motivation letter. I can give a small life hack here. Please don't use templates that you could find on the internet, because we know by word the first 20 search results of Google motivational letter template, and it is better to sit and write it yourself than to just download some random stuff from the internet. Skoltech is the best university in the world, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we got it, but better to sit and think and write it yourself. Maybe it will not be so beautiful in terms of the language, but it's better be true and about you than some random stuff which is applicable to particularly any university. So please write it yourself. But before writing, think about it. Next important document is actually two documents. It's two recommendation letters. And if you can, we will suggest that one of these letters should be from your current scientific advisor in the undergrad or on the undergrad programs. But we understand that, well, the situation may differ, and if you, for some reason, could not request this recommendation from your current advisor, you, well, may skip it, but if you can, please do this. And as soon as you requested recommendations and submitted the whole application, you will be entitled to pass online exam. Online exam is a special 3 hours exam, which is tailored to the program, so it's program specific, and normally it lasts for 3 hours. We also conduct the exam with the proctoring. Proctoring is a special software that you should install on your laptop beforehand, and with this proctoring system, we monitor how you actually pass the exam, and we do this to prevent you from cheating. Of course, we understand that any system may be somehow hacked or cheated, but it's better not to do this, because on the next stages you will be it will be clear. So you should just prepare yourself. We have all samples ready for you on our website. After that, it is the first part of the application process. So after you submit your application and pass the online test, we transfer all the results to our faculty members, and they have take a look at the results, at your documents, what you've uploaded, and they make a decision on who will be the next person, who will be the person to invite it for the final stage. And here comes the difference between normal process and the process we have right now. In the normal process, the final stage is conducted on site, on Skoltech campus. We can make some exceptions for international students if you couldn't come during visa or closed borders, but normally it's on campus. But today, during the COVID, because of the COVID restrictions, we are conducting all our selections online. So you can pass the whole selection process online without any problem, and this is really a great opportunity. So second part, which is conducted online, consists of several tasks, challenges. So first of all, it's the interview with the faculty members panel. And normally the interview is conducted in 20 minutes. You present yourself, they ask you questions, and well, it's just a normal interview. Also, you have to pass Entrepreneurship and Innovation Challenge. It's a special task which is given to all the participants of the selections. And during this task, you have to solve some problem, some case within the teams of other participants. And it is really interesting, and it is done totally online as well. And also, you have to submit IELTS or TOEFL. If you already have IELTS or TOEFL, you can submit it and forget about this. If you don't, then, well, we provide an opportunity for you to pass TOEFL for free. Normally, we do this on campus, but right now we're negotiating with ETS to provide an opportunity to pass TOEFL online. And well, the best ones in the end of the day, those who passed all the selection events, they are offered to study at Skoltech. And well, we proceed to the enrollment. And the good thing here is that you may understand that you've been admitted before you graduated from your bachelor program. So before you have your diploma on hands. Usually we start selection process the year before, which is before the year of academic year starts. So for academic year 2020-2021, we started the campaign and opened our applications in 2019, during fall 2019. So those of you who are thinking about entering next year, the applications will open this fall in November. Okay. And just to conclude with this part about Skoltech, what is really important and maybe interesting for you if you're looking about, if you're thinking about STEM studies in Russia, or just good STEM education, and why Skoltech may be a good place for you to do this. First is that we have a team of globally renowned faculty on board, and you may check their profiles, you may check their publications, their H indexes, etc. And as I said, they're not only research advisors, they also act like mentors, helping our students to achieve their career goals. Next important thing is that all education is conducted totally in English. So you don't need to know Russian to come and study. It's 100% English speaking environment. Next important thing is that we provide you with an opportunity to launch your own startup during the studies, and we actually teach you how to do this, providing you with tools and investments and, well, the most reasonable atmosphere to do this possible. Next important thing is that we have industry immersion and academic mobility programs on board, embedded into our educational programs. And now comes the interesting part for international students. As of now, we don't have tuition fees for students. If you pass the selection process, which is completely free as well, you don't have to pay for your education. It is fully covered by Russian government. And it is not a grant, so you don't have any obligations to us, except for one, be a good student and become a really great professional. So all others, everything is covered. So we don't have tuition fees for those who pass the selection process, which is completely free as well. And the last thing, which is also important, all our students are entitled to receive scholarship, monthly scholarship, which is around 40,000 rubles per month. So it's roughly 500 euros per month. And it's pretty enough to cover living costs in Moscow. So if you will be saving wise, even you could afford yourself to visit a nightclub once a half year. Speaking about the possibilities of accommodation, we do provide accommodation for international students. So it is also included, and this is separate from tuition, from scholarship and tuition. And also we have a medical insurance included into our package for international students as well. So it is all covered, and we'll also, by the way, pay for your tickets to travel to Moscow. So everything is included in this part. And of course, today we have restrictions connected to pandemic, and probably we will start our academic year in the online mode. But well, if you will get admitted, you'll receive all the instructions, detailed instructions how we will do this. But as soon as the borders will open, we will pay for your relocation to Moscow and provide you with accommodation, with medical insurance, with monthly scholarship, and for no cost from your side, with no cost from your side. And of course, campus. So our campus is the thing which we are proud of. It's really great building, and it was designed by Swiss bureau Herzog de Meuron. And in 2019, it received a UNESCO award for the best university campus in the world. And it is a really nice place to spend several years of your life studying and getting great education. And of course, right now the campus is closed, but we are working on the plan of opening it, and we all miss it, but soon it will be open, and we'll continue to work there. And just to give you a small overview of our campus as well, I would like to show you a small video clip about it. Just give me a second. Okay, here we go. And just a short video for 2 minutes.
Whew, let's do it. What do I have to lose? That's the moment I started searching for the top master's programs out there. Okay, Skoltech, a research-focused technological university in Moscow, founded in collaboration with MIT, fully English-speaking, and they offer scholarships? Awesome. The admissions process was brutal. First an online application and a math test. After that, if you do well, an interview with Skoltech's professors, and then I got in! I got in! Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. Luca, from Italy, and this is my first year at Skoltech. Okay, Skoltech campus is just wow. It really leaves an impression. Halls, auditoriums, open spaces, top-of-the-line labs. Wait, is that a basketball court inside? Yeah, you can really get lost in it. It's just like a city from sci-fi movies. Skoltech unites lots of cultures, so you'll find peers for sure. You'll gain hands-on experience before you even graduate. And its world-renowned professors are always here to support you. Always. And if you want to go further, like turn your knowledge into money, they'll teach you how. Oh man, I almost forgot to show you Moscow. It's unbelievable. Business, culture, nightlife, everything is so vibrant here. Get ready to take lots of photos. At Skoltech, you gotta keep up or they'll kick you out. You learn how to cope with criticism, master your presentation and argumentation skills. It's tough, but definitely worth it. Summer holidays? Forget it. Skoltech has a better idea. How about an 8-week internship in a real tech company? That's better. So, during my first year at Skoltech, I finally saw what modern science can bring to the world. We as students have to get better every day and use every opportunity out there. And if this is only the beginning, what will next year bring?
Okay, so here is our video about Skoltech, and I understand that we have this small typo in the Luca's name, so we mentioned this as well, but it was late to correct. Okay, I see we have a bunch of questions, so Federica, we may start.
Yes, we do. So let's start with the first one. we actually received some question about the language requirements. So what are your requirements, and especially if someone already studied in English?
Yeah, good question. So regarding the English language requirements, first of all, we accept only TOEFL and IELTS certificates. So we don't accept Cambridge, etc. You may upload them in your application, and it will be a plus definitely, because we will understand that it will be not a problem for you to pass TOEFL or IELTS. But we accept only TOEFL and IELTS. We have an exception for the certificates if your education was conducted in English, and this is explicitly mentioned in your diploma, that your program was conducted in English, or well, the medium of studies was English. So if it's written in your diploma, then you shouldn't provide us with any certificates. We just will count your diploma in. Regarding the level for IELTS, it's 6.0. For TOEFL ITP, it's 450 ITP. And it is not really high, because we believe that as soon as, well, me personally, I start studying English since I was 7, and I feel myself that if I'm not in the atmosphere, my level is getting -2 really fast. And if you will get into the environment, English-speaking environment, it's really easy for you to catch up with English. So it may take half a year, but if you're not good enough in theoretical physics, you could not catch up with it in half a year. So that is why, if you're really good in your professional background, but you have some, well, not so good English, we can give you a try.
Perfect, thank you. Another question is about the companies you collaborate with. So you mentioned in your presentation, if you can name some.
Yeah, we have, well, there are also Russian and international companies as well. We have several companies, like, for example, if we're talking about international companies, it's Boeing, Cisco, Microsoft. So for these reasons, we are have a huge list of partners. For Russians, if you'll name particularly any company popular in the world, in Russia, we have a really great collaboration with it for sure, because we are working with leaders of the industry.
Perfect. There was another question. You already explained the application process, but maybe if we can just go a bit more into details about the recommendation letter, the motivational, and there was also another question about the language test. So does someone who apply have everything ready before starting the application?
Well, you may start application and submit the documents while you understand what is requested. So you may do this process step by step. It's not obligatory to submit as soon as you start the application. But you just have to be in time just to be ready to submit it before the deadline. Final deadline is July 16. And well, regarding other aspects of it, we have a constant support service in the CRM in the application system when you submit your application in our email. And if you have any question regarding how to do this or that, we will be ready to provide you with a fast response with this regards. And speaking about how properly prepare a motivation letter, recommendation letters, we have a really nice guide written especially for our students, for our prospective students. And if you will follow the link student.skoltech.ru, you will find there a special section with the very detailed explainers about how to properly prepare these documents. So it is all written there, and I recommend before submitting application just to take a look at it, read it, and apply the suggestions, that advices that we provide there to your application.
Perfect, thank you. There was a question about the length of the program. So how long does this master program last? I'm not sure if varies or...
Well, all our master programs are 2 years and on site. So of course, right now we have this distant and mixed format, but normally they're on campus 2 years long. PhD programs are 4 years long. So, but for PhD, you may be able to complete in 3 years if you will publish really good and meet the requirements.
Perfect. We have Nicholas who's actually thanking you for the seminar, and he find it very interesting and inspiring. And he actually mentioned they never heard about Skoltech, and he wants to know more about the accommodation part.
Well, our accommodation, we right now, well, first of all, we provide accommodation to all international students. I will repeat this. It's really important, and it's included in our package that we provide to international students. As of now, we rent a hotel in Moscow, but for this coming year, since starting from this academic year, we have a special houses built here on Skolkovo territory, so it's a 5-minute walk from campus, really important, and it is just new beautiful buildings, beautiful apartments, and well, students will live there with other students. So it's not a one-person accommodation, but it's it groups, and well, as of now, we have yeah, I forget to mention about the numbers. We have around 1,000 students in our cohort, so we're a small school, and we are not planning to get bigger. 1,200 is our maximum that we'll try to achieve in 2024. And 20% of our students right now are international students coming from 46 countries all over the world, including Italy. And these students live in the dorms.
Perfect, thank you so much. Another question is about your collaboration with the MIT. So how does that work? Does it mean that it's possible to be connected in some way with them?
Yeah, we, as I said, we have MIT initially helped us to launch Skoltech, and we were founded in collaboration with MIT. And right now we have around 20 joint research projects. But it's better to go to a special website. It's skoltech.mit.edu. And there you will find all the information about our collaboration, how it works. So it's on MIT domain, the most recent information about our collaboration. But again, as I said, our students, they do have an opportunity to travel to MIT for exchange program, but not only MIT, particularly any university in the world. The key idea here is to travel not for the brand, but for the research topic and, well, the key thing that you're working on.
Thank you. Another question about the stipend. So basically you mentioned about like a monthly, is it fixed or does it change?
Yeah, it is fixed, like the base is fixed, but it may get bigger if you're performing well, if your academic performance is good, it's getting bigger. And also in the new academic year, we're about to launch a special student development program. It will allow students to apply for grants to travel to, for example, conferences or competitions like Slash in Europe, etc. And students will be able to apply for this program as well and get additional funding to their initiatives and their resources, their travel requests. Also, we have student clubs, and student clubs also receive funding. For example, if you're keen on robotics and you want to get a team to build some robots, if you will have enough students to support you with this idea, you may apply for funding and receive funding to your initiative.
Thank you. There are also questions from few attendees about the type of courses that are available. Can you maybe, the courses that are available, like which are the areas?
Well, regarding our courses, they're part of the program. So we have 10 Master of Science programs, and each program has like a basic list of courses. And we have the whole course catalog, which is for the elective part. So with the list of courses, you can take a look at the list of the courses on the program's website. And to go there, just visit the link that I've been showing. It's student.skoltech.ru. There you will find all the links, and also you will see the links to course catalog, where you can see the full descriptions of the courses, just to understand what's inside.
Perfect. And also, maybe we can remind that they will all receive an email after this webinar with all the link to the course, so you will be able to visit the website. We talked about a master's program, but they also have some students interested in the PhD. So as an international student, how does that work?
Well, it works pretty much the same. So all the conditions are the same. The stipend, monthly stipend, is a bit higher. It starts from 75K per month, so it's around 800 euros or 900 euros, depending on the currency exchange rate. But the application process is pretty the same. In some way, it's a bit easier because you don't need to pass online test, but you have to provide a research proposal. So you already have to understand what will be the research topic that you will plan to work on during the PhD studies. And we also advise to find a prospective supervisor beforehand. So you may take a look at the list of our faculty members, write to a couple of them, well, of course, select them first in terms of the research topics, just in order to find it more suitable for you, and write them, introduce yourself, because they also are interested in good students, in PhD students, and they will normally they will respond, probably not very fast, because our professors, they're very busy with conferences, publishing and teaching, but normally they respond, and they'll respond, and well, if you understand that you have this mutual understanding of your potential research, then you just indicate this faculty member in your application system.
Perfect, thank you. Another question about the requirements. We do have one of the attendees who already has a master's degree. Will he be eligible to do another one?
Yes. You can apply for a second master's, but you have to work on your motivational letter really hard with this, because you have to explain why you need the second master's, and of course it will be the first question your faculty members will be asking you. But we have each year, not many, but each year we have 10 to 15 cases when students are getting admitted with already having a previously master's degree.
Perfect. Few more questions are about the scholarship, which is a very interesting topic. So you mentioned that are available to everyone. Can you just explain a little bit more how does it work? Do they need to submit another application for the scholarship?
No. It works by default. So as soon as you get admitted, all students are entitled to receive scholarship. So it comes by default with your enrollment order. And it is included into the package that we are providing with, like medical insurance, like accommodation, etc. So we have a special policy which is outlining this, that all students, international students, are entitled to receive this. By the way, it's open documents. You can take a look on our website, on the main website, skoltech.ru. You may go there and will find the full text of these policies about the benefits that are assigned to international students.
Perfect. A quick question again on the scholarship, just about what does it cover? Is it covers like the tuition fee, or is covers something else as well?
Well, it's a bit different. So we don't have tuition fee at all. So we don't need to cover it with. Do you hear me?
Yes, now we can perfectly.
So you don't need to cover your tuition with scholarship, because we don't have tuition. We simply don't have it. It's already by default covered by Russian government. And in addition, we have, so you just pass the selection process, which again is completely free as well. You pass the selection process, you get admitted, and you study for free, because it is covered by Skoltech. And you, according to our policies, you receive scholarship, monthly scholarship, which is basically allowance, which will help you to just receive money to cover living costs. So, and you don't need to apply for this separately. It's already like a part of the package.
Perfect. In your presentation, you mentioned about the application deadline, which you mentioned was July, I guess, 16th, right?
Yes, it was for masters, and for PhD, it's August 2nd.
Thank you. And if someone applies, when they are planning to receive an answer, a response from the university?
Yeah, good question. So July 16 is the deadline. On July 17 and 18, we will have online testing. After that, in a week till 20 something, I don't recall the exact dates, but it will be communicated to those who will submit application. In 20 something of July, you will receive an invitation to the final part or reject as a result of the pre-selection. And the final part would be in 25th and 26th of July, probably. I don't remember exact days, but it will be communicated. And after that, in the beginning of August will be the final decision. So in the beginning of August, you will know that you are admitted or not.
Perfect, thank you. And in terms of your alumni network, I mean, in the video we saw Luca, who was just showing the campus. Is there any story of the alumni that you want to share with us tonight?
Yeah, we have a lot of, we have a special project which is called True Story about our graduates, and we also will provide this link in the post communication to you guys. You will receive this email with this link. And also we have a special ambassadors program. So we have a special ambassadors program for our graduates, and also we'll provide this link, but you can find it on the student.skoltech.ru as well. There is several of our graduates who are willing to help you with answering to all of the questions that you have. And we have a special website with their with the links to their social network pages, to Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. So you can write them directly and ask any questions about Skoltech, about their experience, and well, how it really works. Did it help? And did they get the education they've been expecting?
So in terms of like the application, we said that roughly there is a month ahead. Is there anything that you feel like you want to share in terms of tips to all of our attendees?
Well, we have about the tips. I would recommend to take a look at our website, student.skoltech.ru, and there carefully read those guides about preparing motivation letters, requesting recommendation letters, etc., etc. But also, one of the main tip is not to wait till July 16, because right now professors are asking to show them who has applied. They do some preliminary screening. Of course, it doesn't affect the process itself, but they're like putting some marks for themselves. So it's better to start submitting as soon as you can.
Thanks. A question more about the schedule for the course. So, of course, due to the pandemic, we're not exactly sure when they will be able probably to fly to Moscow. But if someone gets admitted, when they will be like required to fly to Moscow, or is there any mentoring program when they start?
We have a special orientation program for new students. We will conduct this year this event online. So we will explain in details about our educational process, how it works, who and where and when should submit what documents, etc. So we have this special set of onboarding events. So don't worry about this. It will be all explained and answered. Regarding the operational mode, how it will work. As of now, we aiming probably at starting academic year online. So it means that if borders will be closed, because right now Russia's borders are closed, as a EU's borders, I believe as well, like for international visitors at least. We will start online and provide again all the tools and all the information needed to be able to go for the courses in the online mode. And of course, we'll make some team building events for students of the intake, just for them to understand what are their team, the program, etc. But as soon as the borders will open, so as soon as Russian government will cancel all the restrictions, and if the country where our international student lives is also will not have any restrictions about leaving the country, we will organize the relocation, we will buy tickets, and we'll welcome you in Russia.
Thank you. We have an interesting question from Josh. If someone doesn't get in the first time, is there a chance to try another time?
Yes, but only next year. So you have one attempt a year. So if this year you didn't manage to get in, you've been rejected, you're more than welcome to try next year. And we last year we had a case when student made it on his 4th year. So we were really happy for him, and he right now making a huge achievements and success during his studies, but it was his 4th time because but he was really motivated. And again, next year we are welcome to try again, but within 1 year it's only one attempt. Also, there may be a situation when a program may recommend you to another program. So, for example, you applied for data science and the committee is not ready to make an offer for you to data science program, but the decision would be like, you're really a nice candidate and we recommend you to another program, and another program may take a look at you, for example, information science technology, and then offer you a position there if you will be ready to accept this offer. So it may differ, but in like a normal process, you're not eligible to apply twice within 1 year.
Thanks. Another question on the background. So we're talking about STEM programs. Does the candidate necessarily need to have a STEM background?
The short answer is it is not obligatory. You may apply without STEM background, and if you pass the selection process, it means that you're skilled enough to study. Because we have as I explained, we have several stages of selection, and our key goal is to take a look at the candidate from several points of view, from professional, academic background, etc. And if you pass the selection, it means that we don't care what's written in your diploma because you're good enough to study at Skoltech. But of course, if you don't have STEM specific diploma, like previous education, you have to be ready to explain to faculty and to the admission committee the means why you sure that you will be successful in the program. But if you, for example, let's say you're a law student, but you've done all the Coursera for data science courses and you have all the certificates and you understand pretty well how it works, well, we don't care that you have a law degree. Probably it would be like an additional point for especially in the entrepreneurship and innovation model, because you understand how IP works, etc. So we don't have any restrictions with this regards.
Perfect. I think we actually covered most of the questions that we received, and I'd like to ask you, Dennis, if you maybe want to share one final like advice or tips with other attendees tonight.
The final tip would be is that if you're interested in STEM programs, please consider Russia as a place where you can take a look at these STEM programs and will master them, because Russia is really famous for many achievements in space, in IT, etc. And we have really good programs which are really good in terms of their quality. And even if it's not the choice that comes first to your hand, just have a closer look to this, and probably you'll find the program that really addresses all your requests in terms of quality and the desired outcome. So that will be my final question. Also, by the way, I saw a question about accreditation.
Oh yes, sorry. There were lots of questions.
Yeah. So we do have, of course, accreditation, Russian state accreditation. It means that we have the same accreditation as any other Russian university, like MSU, which is the most famous Russian university, MIPT, etc. But also our PhD programs, several of our PhD programs accredited by HCRES. So it's a special agency in France, which is do the accreditation for PhD programs by the standards of European Union. And we have this accreditation for our several PhD programs. We don't plan as of now to accredit our master programs for this because, well, master programs are not so they're not so long, and that is why, well, but in general, since the faculty members are the same and the courses are of the same quality, so you may use this as a reference to the level of our documents in terms of accreditation.
Perfect, thank you so much. Also, there was one of the attendees who was wondering if they could see the recording of the webinar. Yes, we will be sending you an email with all the information we're talking about and also a link to the recording of this webinar. So I really like to thank Dennis for being here with us tonight and all of you guys for being connected. And I really wish you a lovely evening and welcome you back at the next Skoltech webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys. So have a great evening and good luck.